Tonight on Prime Business, economist urges government to subsidize prices of essential raw materials to stabilize food inflation as March inflation records significant jump to 19.4%, the highest in 13 years.
Fertilizer now. If farmers are crying that they don't have access to fertilizer and therefore it will increase the price of food, then I think that government must intervene to subsidize fertilizer in the short term so we can have an all-year-round production.
Also, prices of petroleum products to go down marginally beginning Friday. Public Interest and Accountability Committee urges Ghana National Petroleum Corporation to stop giving out loans and grants to government and government institutions until it recovers several millions of cedis debt.
Now, GMPC should discontinue granting loans and guarantees until significant recoveries are made with respect to outstanding loans and guarantee over the corporation.
I am Beverly Broohm. Please stay for details. Let's settle for the details now. The month of March recorded a significant jump in inflation to 19.4%, the highest since August 2009. This was influenced by increasing prices of foodstuffs as well as transport fares. They all recorded inflation rates higher than the national average. There's more in this report.
Inflation rate, the highest in 13 years, can be attributed to the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, which has affected food supply. This has widened the gap between food inflation, which rose to 22.4%, and non-food inflation rate, which stood at 17.1% at the end of March. This indicates that prices of food commodities have dominated overall inflation for the period. Here is government statistician Professor Samuel Kobna-Ini.
If you look at the trend over the last 3 months, one would want to assume that the effect of the war in Ukraine, if anything, is now telling on inflation, given that for the months of January, February, the highest inflation was on housing, water, electricity, and gas. And now we're seeing the drift away from housing, water, electricity, and gas, and it's now telling on transport and food. So it's clearly the pronouncement that the war is having effect on these two items. That is why now we see a change around away from housing, water, electricity, and gas to transport having the highest division rate of inflation of 27.6%. So from that trend perspective, one can surmise that it is now that we are beginning to feel the effect, if any, of the war on inflation in Ghana.
For the first time in a while, the Bono Ahafo region recorded the highest rate of inflation across the country as the result of a significant jump in vegetable prices from the region.
From a geographical perspective, we continue to see variations across the administrative regions, and for the first time we are seeing the Bronga Ahafo region recording the highest rate of inflation of 23.1%, and the Upper East region recording the least inflation of 12.5%, suggesting that or indicating a more than 10 percentage point between the region with the highest inflation and the region with the lowest inflation.
Locally produced items also recorded a significant increase as against imported items.
Meanwhile, economist Dr. Edu Owusu-Sarkodie is urging government to subsidize the prices of some essential raw materials as part of moves to stabilize food inflation. Speaking on Business Live, he said there was the need to introduce weighing scales in the market to ensure price harmonization.
Cost of living will rise. Inflation eats away the real value of the money in our pockets, as people would say. Now, people can really feel it in their pockets. Unlike previously, when inflation rate was low, people would say, we can't feel it. Now they can feel it. And so it will eat away the value of money, the purchasing power of the monies in our hands. So no matter the amount of money that you take to the market, it will buy little. And it is not something must be done drastically and must be done now. Government needs fertilizer now. If farmers are crying that they don't have access to fertilizer and therefore it will increase the price of food, then I think that government must intervene to subsidize fertilizer in the short term so we can have an all-year-round production. We don't want any starvation in the country. We don't want any hunger in the country. And so going forward, the program must be intensified to increase local production in the country. Another solution that I want to propose is for the government or all stakeholders to take this recommendation by weighing all foodstuffs on the market. I think when you travel to other African countries, they weigh it on a scale. So maybe tomatoes or cassava or plantain or fish, whatever you want to buy, you go to the market, it is weighed on the scale. And so we can start by doing this too. The essence of it is to harmonize all prices so that you know that a kilo of yam is cost this maybe 10 cedis, and it is 10 cedis from Medina Market to Makola to the northern part to Accra or to Volta. That's what I mean. So we can harmonize prices and stabilize food inflation within the shortest possible time. And then going forward, we must really ensure local production, have access to fertilizer. There are some little items that we can produce in the country, like corn, wheat, and all these we can produce in the country. And so we have to be inward looking and intensify the Planting for Food and Jobs program.
Let's still stay with food prices because prices of egg are expected to increase from tomorrow. Addressing the media, President of the Ghana National Association of Poultry Farmers, Victor Opon-Ejay, explained that the move is necessary to keep industry players afloat following an increase in cost of production. According to him, all efforts to get government to subsidize the prices of key ingredients used in feed production have proved futile. There's more in this report.
An uncooked egg currently sells at 1 cedi, whereas fried or boiled egg goes for 1 cedi 50 pesos or sometimes 2 cedis. According to the poultry farmers, it is imperative to increase the prices to avert losses. President of the Ghana National Association of Poultry Farmers, Victor Opon-Ejay, explains that increasing the price will guarantee constant supply of eggs to the market and keep farmers in business.
At the beginning, we were seeking for a subsidy on the maize prices because the way the prices were racketing, it made it difficult for us to operate. Last year, around April, I think we went to the ministry to discuss with them. That time, the maize price was 100 cedis, but we saw it as unprecedented. But now it's gone to 180 cedis. So we think at least there should have been some kind of subsidy, but it's not forthcoming. So the only thing we can do now is to adjust egg prices so that farmers will also be comfortable. Otherwise, all the farms will collapse.
An agri consultant, Joseph Wise, highlights some factors that contributed to the increase in prices.
Somewhere in October, as an agribusiness consultant with my team and my colleagues, we forecasted that by February, March of 2022, the price of maize will be about 170. As we speak now, it's about 175 Ghana cedis. At the time we did the forecasting, the suggestion was that the government must give permit to importers to bring in maize to provide buffer for the system so that the prices will not rise in 2020. That was not done. The permit was not issued. That's my understanding. So it's too late, and Ghanaians must brace for a tough time going forward.
An egg seller narrates some of the challenges as a result of price hikes.
The farmers are always increasing the price of eggs, but when we traders increase the price, the consumers think we are extorting them. Meanwhile, after calculating my capital and cost, my profit is either 50 pesos or 1 cedi. We are pleading with the farmers to reduce the price and be fair to us. Prices of petroleum products are expected to witness marginal reduction at the pumps from Friday. This is based on data Joy Business has secured from the bulk oil distribution companies. Here's George Raff's report.
Based on the prices that the bulk oil distribution companies will be selling to the oil marketing firms from this Friday, diesel is expected to be reduced by some 26 pesos per litre, while petrol should go down by 6 pesos. This should mean that diesel from this weekend should go for 10 Ghana cedis, 3 pesos, if you are working with the price codes of Guel on the market. Petrol, on the other hand, should go for 9 Ghana cedis, 29 pesos. According to the bulk oil distribution companies, the marginal reduction can be linked to declining prices of crude oil on the international market and a fairly stable Ghana cedi. For some consumers, this may be described as not so good news looking at the margin of reduction that we should witness from this Friday. This because based on the recent developments on the exchange market, that is the cedi stabilizing against the dollar over the past week, and the Bank of Ghana's decision to guarantee sale of dollars to the bulk oil distribution companies to aid imports, some were looking forward to a bigger reduction at the pumps. Well, for some consumers, the assurance is that if the current trends on the world market should continue in terms of price of crude oil declining, then we should be assured of further reduction in prices of petroleum products at the pumps in the coming weeks.
The Public Interest and Accountability Committee, PIAC, has advised the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation to stop giving out loans and grants to government and government institutions until it recovers several millions of cedis credit that has gone bad. This is one of the recommendations in the 2021 annual report on the management of petroleum revenue in Ghana by the statutory body. Here is a report. GNPC recorded a loss of 1.6 billion cedis in 2020, according to the 2020 State Ownership Report. Presenting the highlights of the launch of the 2021 annual report, Chairman of PIAC, Professor Kwame Adom-Frimpong, called on GNPC to double up efforts in recovering loans to government and its agencies to ensure that the corporation's work program does not suffer from non-implementation. PIAC, as part of its recommendation, also urged the Ministry of Finance in collaboration with relevant institutions to develop appropriate guidelines on the utilization and reporting of the annual budget funding amount disbursed to the District Assembly Common Fund.
From GMPC to double up efforts to recovering loans and to government and its agencies to ensure that the corporation work program does not suffer from non-implementation. For now, GMPC should discontinue granting loans and guarantees until significant recoveries are made with respect to outstanding loans and guarantee over the corporation. So this is advice we are giving to our stakeholder that they should make sure at least the guarantees you guarantee, and then there's a default, it's a cost to the company and then a cost to Ghana. So they should make sure that they do a speedy recovery of these revenues.
The committee, however, commended the Petroleum Commission for terminating the agreement of 4 contractors for non-performance. It therefore urged the Commission to ensure strict compliance with minimum work obligations by IOCs. Here is Professor Adom Frimpong again.
The Commission commends the Petroleum Commission. Remember, we mentioned that some companies were not performing, so they cancelled 4 agreements. So while the Commission commends the Petroleum Commission for terminating the agreement of 4 contractors for non-performance, PIAC urges the Commission to ensure strict compliance with minimum working obligation by international oil companies, OICs. PIAC recommends strict compliance with the 2019 judgment of the Supreme Court in the case of Coco versus Attorney General, which placed that 5% of the ABFA shall be allocated and disbursed to District Assembly Common Fund. And then the third one, the Minister of Finance should provide a breakdown of the disbursement to the District Assembly Common Fund and report same to PIAC.
Chairperson of the report launch, Angela Piasa, who is the head of Payroll Processing Directorate of the Controller and Accountants General's Department, Ghana, urged PIAC to look beyond the legal remit and consider issues such as sustainability.
Now that the committee is stabilizing, could we look beyond our legal remits of oil revenue and its management and consider exploring into other related areas such as accountability, sustainability, SDGs, or even lesson sharing that impacts the national dialogue as a way of optimizing our visibility and relevance. In my personal discussions around governance structures, I have always referred to PIAC committee structure, where membership changes in a continuum, such that you don't have old people going and new people coming, but you have new people joining old people, so they are warmed up into the process. The learning curve is shortened. I think it's one of the strengths of PIAC.
Ghana bagged $783 million from oil revenue in 2021, despite oil production decline. The Exim Bank has urged companies in the Volta region to leverage the varied opportunities of the financial institution to expand their business. The bank made known its readiness to support any company that would exhibit competence and commitment in non-traditional products for export.
The Exim Bank was established by the Ghana Export-Import Bank Act 2016, Act 911, to play a pivotal role in the development of Ghana's export trade. The financial institution cushions indigenous Ghanaian companies into non-traditional products to produce for export in a bid to transform Ghana's economy into an export one. In view of this, the bank engaged the business community, policy implementers, opinion leaders in the Volta region to enlighten them on its operations. Nana Acha Obin Adia is the Exim Bank Deputy CEO in charge of banking.
In line with the government's drive to make Ghana an industrial hub and to have an export-driven economy, the Ghana Exim Bank has provided funding to some established companies in the region in areas such as cereal and legume production, cassava production, and wood processing. This is to enable them boost production to meet the needs of the people, as well as increase exports to rake in the much-needed foreign exchange for the growth of the economy. The aim of our visit today is to create awareness about the projects being financed by the bank and get feedback on how best to support the Volta region. In conclusion, we strongly believe that these engagements will inform the bank to realign its support towards the development and promotion of the unearthed non-traditional exports in the Volta region.
The Volta Regional Minister, Dr. Archibald Lecha, implored the participants to take advantage of the varied opportunities to expand their businesses.
I think we are very much interested in the exports because our country needs foreign exchange. We need our city to be strong, so we need more foreign exchange. And I know that there are businesses in Volta region that will take advantage of these facilities, but many of us don't know. But the good news is that many of our businesses have benefited from these facilities. Many people who got to know have taken advantage. So the rest of us who don't know can also take advantage of this. So that is why we are here, because there are emphasis on local economic development. And I see the VDA people around, AGI, Ghana Tourism Authority. They have partnered the Volta Regional Community Council to organize the fairs. Our Trade and Investment Fair 2019 was very successful. 2021 was highly successful. And we saw the things that our people were able to produce. Some of them with a little help of 50,000, 100,000 who produce a lot.
Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News. Oh.
As part of preparations for the Joy Easter Soup Kitchen, an initiative by the Multimedia Group Limited to feed the less privileged in the city of Accra, some workers here who will be cooking on that day shares how prepared they are.
I'm really eager to cook something on Sunday. Unfortunately, I tried my hands on jollof last night. It didn't come out well, so I've decided to change my mind and join those who are working on the eggs. But I think I'll be able to do that. I tried the eggs and it really worked for me, so I want to be part of the egg team.
This year, we are just asking, people to expect a lot of love from us, because what's going to happen is that our team members were coming together to cook the food, which hasn't happened before. Usually we'll get caterers to cook the food, we'll package, and then we will go and distribute. But this time around, right from going to the market, chopping onions, preparing the stew, frying the chicken, doing the jollof, packaging it, and going to distribute it, we're doing everything from scratch ourselves. Of course. We're going to get some professional caterers who will join us so that we make sure that the food we're cooking is, on point. But all the hands that will be cooking the food, preparing and packaging and everything will be us. And we're very happy to be doing that for our brothers and sisters, within our catchment area.
Max Fugger tells me it's supposed to be palm-nut soup. And so you are covered. Insurance has covered all of you. Good food. Come and enjoy. That's all you need.
We expect this Sunday to be really exciting. I grew up with my grandmother, and I was, a kitchen boy. I did a lot of work in the kitchen, so I know how to cook a lot. And I've not done it publicly before. And so, if you like, this Sunday will be when I launch my career as a chef. My side hustle as a chef. And so, from Apapransa to Katikonto to Abekonto to Wadikple, and Wadikple. That one. And of course, we'll be having snacks, brode to twin, and we add cheese. You've not tried it before, don't worry. This Sunday, come and join us, and we'll show you how we do it.
So, meanwhile, Niche Coco Industries Limited has presented 41 cartons of Niche chocolate drink worth 12,000 Ghana cedis to support the initiative. Lloyd Ashley is the managing director of Niche Coco Industries Limited.
Niche, the biggest processor of cocoa in Ghana. We found it right. It's an opportunity for your Easter Soup Kitchen to provide chocolate drinks for the people that you'll be visiting, and also to give them the opportunity for a healthy drink. Most of these people don't even have access to this drink. Ghana imports almost everything chocolate. So part of our corporate responsibility is to provide it evenly for everyone. So as we are donating almost 4,000 pieces, we are hoping that they would acquire the taste as well and also get a healthy drink, because chocolate is essential. Chocolate has a lot of health benefits that people don't know. So this is our small way of contributing for your yearly Easter Soup Kitchen.
That's how we draw down the curtains on Prime Business. But for more business, kindly log on to myjoyonline.com/business. I leave you with business news making headlines around the world, after which Prime Sports is next with Oreku Ampofu.